Let's cover some other dominance issues that you need to be aware of with puppies. Realizing, as we said before, pecking order is everything, but a lot of times puppies will do things that you don't realize are them showing their dominance over you. For example, a lot of times you will have young puppies that will hump your leg. Now everybody thinks that's sexual, but at that point they don't even have sexual hormones to stimulate at that point. What that is they're basically telling you that they want to dominate you. Now it's in play at this point because they're just trying to figure out who they are. But if you let a dog hump your leg, it's one of their ways of saying, I'm over you, because you're allowing a bad behavior to occur. Other common things that they will do is you discipline them and they will bark back at you. They're sassing you. They're telling you that they're not going to listen to you, just like a teenager. So this type of behavior is not acceptable. If they come back, you have to come back with a higher intensity. Realizing when you discipline a dog, you don't have to be tough. I always say it's training by the Fonzie technique. If you watched Happy Days, Fonzie was a tough guy, but he never fought. Just like every parent, we never want to have to discipline our parents or our children, but we want to let them know we're boss. So intimidation and being bigger than they are in that situation is the way to go. So hopefully you have to get physical with them. The problem is, in their world, physical is sometimes all they understand. So we try to avoid that at all costs. Another common place that they will have with puppies is you're laying down on the floor and they will come stand over your face. That's another way of saying, I am dominant over you. So you never let them do that to you. Now on the flip side of, let's do some dominant behaviors to them. When puppies are young, I love rolling them over on their back and holding them like a baby. Because in their world, I'm telling them, I'm head honcho. In the real world, I could take you out by the throat. I could rip all your guts out. You're dead if I want you to be. Now I'm doing it in a very loving manner, so it's not intimidating. But you will find the real tough breeds will fight you tooth and nail. The problem is if you're going to do this, you can't stop until they submit and decide that you're the boss. Otherwise, they keep tallies, and every time you let them win, they're going to put one more mark on their side, and then they're going to think they're more dominant. The more marks they have, the more dominant they're going to become in the household. Just a quick story, I had one client that had an Akita, and the husband was gone a lot, and the Akita decided he wanted to get up on the couch. The wife tried to get him off the couch, and the dog growled at her, so she quit. So the dog put up a mark and say, I'm boss. So the husband come home, and the dog decided that he's going to take over their bed. Husband went to take the dog off the bed. Now the dog said, he's a little tougher, so I'm going to snap at him. So he snapped at him. So within a very short time, the dog owns the king-size bed, and the husband or wife are sleeping on the couch. Not a good scenario. This was an Akita. It's a strong-willed dog. You cannot allow them to dominate or win those situations. So it's very, very important to work with a trainer if you have this kind of situation. The sooner the better. If you see these kind of behaviors, if you get behind the power curve, you may never, ever get ahead of it. And what you have to do to get ahead of it is probably more than any of us want to ever do to a dog. But all they understand at that point is physical. And so we try to avoid that at all costs.